Hi everyone, welcome to our BookTrib live chat, which is a Merrill Moss Media production. Today we are thrilled to be chatting with New York Times and USA Today bestselling author Larissa Ione. She is a part of the fabulous 1001 Dark Nights crew, and her Hades, a Demonica novel, is receiving rave reviews. So thank you so much for joining us today. Larissa, it's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
I actually was looking at reviews because you have like over 50 reviews on Amazon now, which is amazing. And I saw one written by the girls at Romance at Random that I thought was amazing. I just really wanted to I wanted to share the end of it because it's really awesome. So this is the wrap up of the review. Have you hugged a demon today? If not, I highly recommend the Demonica series by Larissa Ione. I hold my vampires close, but my demons closer. She has a way of making the most surly of creatures take hold of your heart and squeeze, in a good way. Makes one pray to have the boogeyman under their bed. That's amazing. And she says, Hades and Cat will capture your attention and hold it prisoner in the underworld. So that's a little tidbit I wanted to share. We're
That's really
also happy. We're also happy to inform, all our viewers that we're giving away a bag of Larissa's favorite things this evening. So stop by booktrib.com after the chat and enter to win. And before we start the questions, Larissa, your fans are dying to know more about Hades. So before we start it up, can you tell us a little bit more about this book and your Demonica series?
okay. Well, Hades is part of the Demonica / Lords of Deliverance series, it originally started out set in an underworld hospital run by vampires and demons and werewolves, and it really expanded. I mean, it just took on this huge life. And for the 1000 Dark Nights books, I'm concentrating on an area called Sheol Gra, which is basically it's the resting place for demons. When demons die, their souls go to Sheol Gra. And Sheol Gra is run by a guy, the Grim Reaper. His name's Azagoth, and that was actually the first 1001 Dark Nights book. And then Hades, who really runs the graveyard part of it. He takes care of all of the demon souls, actually, and has fun torturing them and stuff. And because that'd be a good time. And so he runs that section of the Demonica world.
Right.
And anyway, so that's what that is about.
Awesome. And Hades has quite a sense of humor, and I was wondering, is it anything like your own sense of humor?
Oh, you mean kind of twisted and dark? Yeah, it's
awesome.
Yes, these books are me. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, it's my sense of humor, just really sarcastic and a little bit grim and dark, and Hades has that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was also wondering, you have great names in this. How do you come up with names like Azagoth? Is that like something you came up with, or is it like something from mythology? And then Cataclysm is just an amazing name as well.
Yeah, actually, most of my names are taken directly from mythology, or at least some form of mythology. I might kind of mix up the names a little bit. But yeah, a lot of it's basically from mythology and Latin. So yeah, and then there's some like Hades, which has already been there. Cataclysm. I love to name my fallen angels. Cataclysm is a fallen angel, and so I love to name the fallen angels words that have some sort of kind of scary or destructive meaning.
Right. And it kind of goes along with her personality, right?
Oh, definitely. She is just a big mess. She's she's just a big klutzy mess, and she causes cataclysms wherever she goes.
So Marley has a question. That she wants to know what part of Hades was the most fun to write for you, without revealing too much.
Ooh, gosh, really, I hate to say all of it because that just sounds so, cliche. But really, the whole thing was a lot of fun because I got to explore an area of my own world that I haven't explored. So,
Yeah.
really writing the different levels, the different rings really was a lot of fun trying to find what each one was like. And I love the interaction between Kat and Hades. So any
Mhm.
scene with those two was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the dialogue between them is awesome. Very good.
Thank you.
Now, in terms of supernatural beings, we have a question about that from Audrey. If you were a supernatural being, what do you think would fit you the most, or what would you choose to be?
Oh, that is so easy. I would so be a vampire. That is, yeah, vampire
Yeah.
because super strength
And they're
and just
sexy in a weird way.
they
They're just
are.
there's a sexual thing. Yeah.
Yes, they're a very kind of, just at their heart, very erotic. I mean,
Yeah.
not obviously the scary ones because I've been some, scary vampires, but
Yeah.
really, I love them and I love the way that they're not held to human morals and standards and they can do whatever they want and, nobody can police them really.
Yeah. Now I was looking at your Twitter and your Facebook just to like see what you got going on. Is there anything coming up like in the near future that like any events that you're doing, any conferences, any stuff like that, signings or anything?
I kind of cleared my schedule for this year because I've got a
That's
lot
awesome.
going on personally. So no, I
Yeah.
really don't have much in the way of writing or uh, that's coming up. This year's kind of for me. My
Good.
son's graduating from high school. We're taking a trip to Europe, and we're moving, and we're selling our house, and we're building a house. So we just really this year's kind of cleared my schedule
That you need that, absolutely.
every once in
And
a
I
while.
noticed, yeah, and I mentioned before that you had over 50 reviews on Amazon, and it was like within days of I think the book being out, which is amazing. How do you kind of interact with your fans and like, talk to them about the reviews and what you think? Do you use Twitter and Facebook a lot, and do you find that that's helpful?
Um, I do. I get on Facebook mostly, but I have got to give my
Yeah.
awesome assistant Judy credit for that because she really keeps things going. I get in there and post myself, um,
Yeah.
probably once a day, but
Mhm.
I try to interact as much as I can lately because, like I said, I've got so much going on. I haven't been able to do it as much as I'd like,
Right. Yeah, it's a
but
lot.
yeah, but I do try to keep active with readers on Facebook and Twitter because they're just they're what matters. I mean, that's why I'm doing this, and they're the ones
Right.
that allow me to do this. So I
Mhm.
try to act um,
Yeah.
try to get on Facebook and Twitter as much as I can.
Absolutely. Do you see any of your fans doing any fan fiction? Have they ever like taken Hades and written anything? Have you seen anything come out of that that's interesting? Or do
Not
they kind of
Hades,
leave it alone?
but
But
no,
others?
not Hades. But yes, definitely. There's been fan fiction in the Demonica universe, and
Yay.
every once in a while, a reader will write and say, do you mind if I do this? And you know what? I don't mind at all. It's so flattering.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
just really cool, and it gets more of the word out there. So fan
Yeah.
fiction, I'm all for it.
Awesome. Now, I noticed that Hades can't enjoy like creature comforts when he's down in hell, like Doritos and pizza, and he can't succumb to temptation. Um, if you had to smuggle one thing that you absolutely must have into the underworld, what would you smuggle down there?
Fear, fear,
Yeah,
easy
yeah, me
fear.
too. Absolutely. Any
Yay!
partic any particular type, or are you
Uh,
any kind?
I'm pretty much I'll pretty much drink anything except stout.
Yeah. Yeah, and that wouldn't it'd be hard to keep a cold in hell, especially stout.
Right, right, yeah. So and yeah, so no, pretty much anything. But beer, pizza. Pizza's pretty good too.
Oh my God. Yes. Both maybe would be amazing. So,
Yes. Oh, you could live off that.
forever and ever. Um, Susan wants to know what kind of research do you do, if at all, when you're developing these books and working on them? Is there anything that you kind of read up on?
I do a lot of research. I've got a lot of books about religion, about demons and angels. I've always been fascinated by different religions, so that just kind of has come naturally to me. But yes, I do a lot of research, but I also have a very active imagination, so I kind of blend those two together.
Right. That's awesome. Susan wants to know, she says, this is your second book in the 1001 Dark Night series. How has it been this time around working with Hades and also with, the other authors? Do you ever talk to them or like get their input?
Oh my gosh. Well, Hades was different writing it than Azagoth was. Azagoth was really easy. It came so easily to me. Hades was fun, but Hades gave me
Yeah.
more trouble. I don't know why. He's just, big blue-haired jerk. But he, he kind of gave me trouble. But as far as the other 1001 Dark Nights authors, I love them. They have seriously, the 1001 Dark Nights people have put together an amazing group of writers that all really work together well and have fun and it's amazing. It's one of the neatest projects I've ever been part of.
Awesome. And Kristen has a question, vampire related. Do you have a favorite vampire movie that you can think of?
Oh, that's a tough one. Um, Gosh, as far as movies go, I'd have to say Interview with a Vampire. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if we're talking about TV series, True Blood.
Yes. So I'm really corny and I don't care, but I started watching Buffy.
Oh, I
And I
love
can't
Buffy.
stop.
Oh, well, yes, yes, Buffy, an angel. Oh
So
gosh, I can't even believe I
I
forgot that.
know, I know. So I never watched it when it was on. When I was younger, I was like, nah, I'm too
Neither did
cool for that.
I.
And now I'm
Yep,
watching it. Yeah, I'm like 30 years old now. I'm like super excited.
I did the
It's so
same thing
good.
when it first came on. I was like, really, Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Seriously, I'm not going to watch that. And it
It's so
wasn't
good.
until Angel came on, and I thought, you know
Hmm.
what, that guy's really hot, and he's
Yeah,
a vampire. I'll try watching that. And so I watched the first episode and realized how much backstory I was missing.
I
So I went
know.
back and
So
watched the
good.
entire Buffy series and just fell in love with it. It's amazing.
Right? And Seth Green is on there. I love him too.
Oh man, I love them all.
Um, Jillian Greenfield just sent a question through, and she said, "Who is your most diehard fan?" Is it her?
That might be Jillian. Yep, I think it might be. Hi, Jillian.
Hey there! I love when people pop in randomly. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Kristen wants to know. First of all, she says, "I love your Bound by Night series." She says, "Since when have you been drawn to the vampire race and writing about them? What started
Oh,
you on this vampire kick?"
geez. Probably when I read Salem's Lot by Stephen King. That was
Wow.
probably the very beginning of it, and I mean I was maybe uh, 12 or 13, so
Right.
it's been ever since then. I didn't really start writing about them though until 2006-ish. I didn't really
Mhm.
get serious about it, but yeah, I've been a vampire fan for a
That's
long,
awesome.
long time.
Now, have you written in any other genres other than erotic, paranormal romances? Is there anything else you've ever kind of dabbled in?
Oh gosh, I've dabbled in everything. I have dabbled in horror. I have dabbled in
Awesome.
historical fiction. I've dabbled in contemporary romance. I actually, when I first started writing romance, it was historical romance, and
Mhm.
I kind of didn't go anywhere with that. I wrote a couple of books. They're sitting under my bed and will never see the light of day. Uh, and then I went to contemporary, and I love contemporary, but
Yeah.
something just really got me going with paranormal. And so I still write contemporary. I've actually got one contemporary book published, Snowbound. But and
Neat.
I just finished working on another secret project. It's contemporary, but it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, mostly I've found my home and my voice in paranormal because my voice is kind of dark and gritty, and that doesn't go as well with
Yeah.
contemporary.
Morbid humor. I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if you just like interjected a weird, morbid joke into a contemporary romance. I
Right.
would find it funny. Now,
I would too.
saw I saw on your Twitter page that something about a Star Trek novel. Is this a secret? It can't be a secret because it's on Twitter. Star
Mm,
Trek novel?
I
Anything?
I have been
Anything you can say
interested
about
in.
that?
Oh, well, not really. There will be a Star Trek novel eventually. I can't really say anything right now because I don't know exactly which project I'm going to be truly settling down with. But yes, there will be. That is the dream of mine, and it will happen.
It will happen. That's
It
amazing.
will happen.
Other exciting stuff to look forward to. Um, so, what would your dream cast for the characters in Hades be if you could pick any present day or past actors and actresses? Who do you think you would choose?
This is going to be a really, really lame answer, but
No,
I don't
no.
know. When I see my characters, I don't ever see them as any living or dead actor or actress.
Yeah,
They exist in my
it's your own
head, and
thing.
I would have such a hard time casting them. So I hate to say it,
We've
but
had that answer
uh,
before. I can see that. So I wonder what your fans would think. It's interesting to see. Do you ever
yeah.
get any feedback about that, like what they think?
I do. Every once in a while, somebody will say, "Oh man, I'd love to see them as whoever." And there's actually a website. I can't remember the name of it right now. Dreamcasting.com or something like
Mm.
that, where people actually have fun casting different roles, and you can see, how many people have nominated certain actors and actresses. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I've never seen that before. I'm gonna have to check it out. Now, Becca says, what are some things that motivate you, whether it be in regards to writing or just everyday life?
Ooh, motivate me. I would say
Writing's
reading,
tough.
really. Yeah,
Yes.
when it comes down to it, reading. When I read something really, really good, it really gets me going. Also, a good movie or TV show. When something really clever happens, or I
Yeah.
notice that the writing is just amazing,
Mhm.
that gets me fired up. And because there are a lot of, sorry, I just keep, my screen goes blank. I don't know if I go blank too, but
No, it's probably just it goes to sleep.
oh, okay.
I
So,
know.
well, anyway, yeah, I would say that a good, well-written book does it, and so does a really well-done TV show or movie.
Awesome. Susan says, whoa, you penned your first novel at the age of 13. Is that true?
It is, it is.
Uh, Can you
Yeah,
tell us about that?
well, it's another one that's sitting under my bed and will never see the light of day. But it was inspired kind of by Jack London and Stephen King.
Awesome.
So it's kind of an outdoor Jack London-ish
Ooh,
adventure with a wolf hero, but it's really kind of twisted and dark with this Stephen King influence. So, but yeah, that was a full-length novel. It was 100,000 words, that sucker was.
wow. How long did it take you?
Uh, it didn't actually take that long. I worked on it for a summer, so 3 months,
That's
which is
awesome.
actually faster than I can write now.
Yeah, right. That's amazing. Oh, Judy Bouldry just said, hi, Larissa. You are now going to cause me to marathon watch Buffy.
Ha! What, Judy? Oh my
The
gosh, you
bad
haven't
thing.
seen Buffy? Oh boy, I'm gonna have to beat her. She is actually, that Judy is my assistant. She's the one that does my Facebook page so
Ah,
awesomely and stuff. However, I'm gonna beat her for not watching Buffy.
7 seasons, but you could plow through them. It's
Oh yeah.
amazing. So, Chase wants to know, what do you think is the most rewarding part about being a writer?
I would say getting emails from readers. That
Mhm.
really, really makes my day. When somebody emails and says that they were having, a rough time and reading helped them get away from it, or helped inspire them to do something. Um, I love that. That really is probably the most rewarding part of it. I just can't believe that people actually, they spend their hard-earned money on something I did. It blows my mind. I love it.
It's awesome, and your writing is so funny. I love it. Now, I have an interesting question. So Hades lives in a tomb, correct? And he sleeps in a sarcophagus. So my first thought is that's really crowded. So do you think that that is a turnoff for a potential love interest? Do you think Kat's gonna be like, no, I can't sleep in there with you?
Well, it would depend on if she was like me, because me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
If it's like nice and tidy in there.
Yeah, and I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want one.
Exactly.
But Kat, she's pretty easygoing. I think that she's okay with it.
She'd be nice
Not a
about
problem.
it. I'd be fine with it as long as it wasn't messy. So there you go.
Right? No spider webs. No spider webs.
Yeah,
I couldn't deal with that.
I'm going back to Buffy again, where Spike lives in a dump,
Yes.
and then remember when Dracula comes back?
Oh, that was fun.
And he's fancy and only stays in a mansion that magically appears. It's amazing.
Yes. Right.
Now, Marley has a question. Did any current events inspire you to write your first book? Going way back. Current events.
First book? I don't know if that means published or non-published. So I'm gonna go with.
We can just guess it.
Published? Let's go with okay. We'll go with the very beginning with Pleasure Unbound. Not really current events, but we do go back to Buffy and Angel there. Because I was watching an episode of Angel and he got hurt and he needed to go to a hospital, but he couldn't because he's a vampire. So that is what triggered the whole, oh my gosh, you know what? Vampires and demons and stuff, they're always getting beat up by slayers. They need a hospital. So that's how that spark came about.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, it just keeps going back to Buffy. Kristen says, what's your writing process like? Do you start with the title and then write the book? Do you start like an outline and then the title comes last? What is your process generally like?
Every book is different. Some books start out with a title. I just happen to have it. Usually that doesn't happen, though. Usually the title comes later because I'm kind of lame when it comes to those, and I need help from my publisher to come up with a title.
Happens.
So every book's different. Some books come to me with a character. Some come with a plot first, and then the characters. That's a really tough one because I don't have a specific method. It just I'm kind
however
of
it feels.
ADD when it comes to that. Yeah.
That's cool. It's very interesting. Allie says, what advice would you offer to someone who is trying to write their own erotic novel?
Oh, read. Also, learn the rules. And I am a big rule breaker. I hate them. I hate the rules. I hate following any rules, which is why I didn't last in the military. But seriously, learn the rules of writing. And then, once you've got them all down, toss them all out the window. Because once you learn them, you can learn to break them effectively. And don't listen to, I submitted a lot of my work to contests before I got published. And I'd get back these comments that people picking apart things that broke the rules. However, when I sent those same manuscripts to publishers, editors loved it. They're like, you know what? Who cares? As long as it works, it doesn't matter. So read and then learn the rules so that you can break them effectively.
Cool. And are there any books that you read during that time? Books about writing, on writing, anything that comes to mind? Or like any websites or anything that...
Actually, when you said on writing, there's actually a book by Stephen King called
Yeah.
on writing. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah,
That
I
one's,
had to read that in a class of mine. I remember that.
oh,
We definitely had
okay,
that book.
that
Yep.
one, yeah, that's a really good one. I also really highly recommend oh gosh, the writer's journey.
Oh,
And I
okay.
can't for the life of me remember the author's name, and I was just looking at it like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
But yeah, I really love the how-to books. Again, it's kind of a learn the rules sort of thing. Read the
absolutely.
how-to books, and uh, there's some good ones out there.
Cool. What are some of the rules that you're referring to, like that you can kind of learn to break effectively or avoid
Oh gosh,
breaking?
don't start a sentence with and, or don't kill your hero. I don't,
True.
don't yeah, don't your hero and heroine, they can't be bad guys. Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
have read one of my books because they're all bad. Um, so really, it's just I think that you can do anything you want with a character or a book. It's just got to make sense.
Right. Absolutely. Out of all your book covers, do you have a favorite? That's a question from Alex.
Oh, I have had so many good covers. I've gotten really, really lucky. Um, I truly don't think I can pick one. I've always kind of loved the cover for Passion Unleashed, the third book of
Yeah.
my Demonica series, just because it's got Wraith on it, and Wraith is one of my very favorite characters. So that cover is always kind of stuck with me. But overall, I've been very lucky, and I've got amazing covers from amazing publishers. All of them have been good.
Cool. Um, Kate wants to know, do you have any hobbies or favorite pastimes? Anything that you like to do
Oh,
when you're
I
not writing?
love Yes, I love video games. Oh my gosh. I
Cool.
love to play video games. I can lose myself for days in video games. And when I
Any
say
favorite
days, I mean
games?
anything Dungeons and Dragony. I love
Hmm.
RPGs.
Cool.
So any kind of role-playing game that's fantasy based. Um, I can lose myself for days. I also really really love being outdoors, going to the
Hmm.
beach and going out on the boat, stuff like that. And movies. I love movies.
Yeah.
Reading. Anything to do with animals. I'm a huge animal lover. So, oh, and right, I've taken up cross stitching and needlepoint. So I've been doing that on my off time too.
Oh, awesome. I have no patience for that. I do other crafts, but I can't get it down. Like I can't. So I
It's
salute
it's
you.
oh no, it's kind of monotonous in a way. It's yeah, but
Meditation.
I just do a couple stitches every day. I've got it kind of set up so that if I just walk by, I
Yeah.
see it, and I'm like, all right, I'll just
Yep.
do a couple stitches every day. So it's getting done that way.
Awesome. Chase says, what has been one of your most interesting life experiences?
Oh, you
That's
know,
crazy.
I I've had a really really interesting life. I've been really lucky that way. I have done so much. I I got to work in support of a NASA launch.
Oh, wow.
I got to go through Hurricane Katrina. That was interesting.
Whoa.
Um, I have, gosh, I've just had such an amazing life. It's
Eclectic,
hard
yeah.
to, yeah, it really. I For some reason I tend to be in the right place at the right time, and so I've met a lot of different stars. I worked on the set of a movie, so I got to meet Randy Travis and
Oh, wow.
Rick Schroeder. I mean, I've just yeah. So I've actually had quite a few interesting experiences.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, Allie wants to know, what are you working on next? Can you tease anything for our
Ooh,
viewers?
hmm. I actually have a whole bunch of projects I'm working on. They're mostly in the plotting stages. but I am working on the next 3 books in the Moonbound Clan Vampire series. A lot of people have been asking about that, and I don't have any kind of release date on those because instead of doing one a year and making readers wait, I'm going to do all 3 at once because I would like them to release all at once. So there's going to be a big delay between the last book, the second book, and the 3rd book. But once the 3rd book comes out, the 4th and 5th will be right there.
Wow.
So I'm working on that.
I'm
also working. Oh yeah, I'm very excited about that. It's just a matter of getting them all completely plotted out. I'm hoping to have Tracker. I'm hoping to have a novel for Tracker maybe by the end of the year. I'm also working on the next book in the 1001 Dark Nights series, and that will be Jubal's book. So you met him in both Azagoth and Hades. So he'll be next for them.
Excellent. That's so much to look forward to. And unfortunately, we came to the end of our time, but I just wanted to thank you again for joining us. It was so much fun. Lots of vampire talk and fun stuff. Yeah, and everybody stop by BookTrib.com after the live chat, and you can enter to win a mystery bag of her favorite things. It's going to be awesome, so please enter to win, and thanks again, and take care.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for everybody for being here.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.